morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm your neighborhood reporter, Riley Shoemaker. We are live just outside Vail, Oregon, where just a couple miles away, residents are experiencing some severe flooding. Now, we are on the side of Highway 20, and just behind me, you can see there is a road closure sign that says about 20 miles up the road, there is a road closure. You can see, I'm going to show you right here, there's a line of semi-trucks that are parked and waiting for that road to open back up because of this severe flooding. Now, if you take a look at this drone footage we took just moments ago, only a few miles from where we're standing, you can see significant flooding around this person's home, and it looks like he's trying to save his home using bales of hay. We've also gotten reports from residents there near Harper that said there's significant flooding near their homes. Authorities are telling me in the area that the flood level is just now heading from moderate levels to major flooding, and that they're expecting it to get worse as the day goes on. But they say they're starting to gather sand, get ready to deliver those to residents who need it to save their homes. And as far as road closures, we have multiple parts of Highway 20 between Harper and Jontura blocked off. So we'll continue to bring you updates on this situation with the flooding as the day goes on. You can catch more on that in our evening newscasts. Reporting from Vail, Oregon, I'm neighborhood reporter Riley Shoemaker, and we're going to send it over to Sophia Cruz for a look at the weather.
Thanks, Riley. So as you take a look as to what's happening across our area, we do have that flood warning there, and it's specifically surrounding that one stretch of Highway 20. So again, if you're traveling up there, that road is closed, so you're going to have to really maneuver your way around, especially if you have already made it there. You're going to have to wait this one out. That flooding that we were looking at this morning, it started at about 21 inches. Then we saw it grow upwards towards 22.93. Now, majors consider 23 inches. Again, either way, it's close enough to the point to where, and you saw in that video that Riley just showed us, or that live footage, that it is still looking major no matter where you're heading. That's why that road is closed. So we're going to continue to monitor that for you as we make our way through our morning together.
Welcome to Idaho News 6. I'm your neighborhood reporter, Allie Tripke, and we begin tonight with an update to the flooding in Malheur County, Oregon. A story we've been following closely all day for you, starting with live updates in our 11 a.m. newscast. And at 5 p.m., neighborhood reporter Riley Shoemaker showed us some of what residents are dealing with in Eastern Oregon. And she rejoins us now live from our crew in Ontario to kick off team coverage at 6. Hey, Riley.
Hey, Allie. Yep, this is a rapidly changing situation here in Ontario. I just want to tell you, if you were watching the 5 or the 5:30, it was not remotely as watery on this road. We were actually up that road, standing over there, and we've made our way over here because that area was started to get completely socked in with water. Since we've been standing here alone, look at my feet. They're already underwater. And these road signs, you can see the cones are almost completely submerged as well. Earlier, we had some guys out here on a boat. I would not recommend that. This current is moving rapidly as you get closer and closer to the river, and there's huge pieces of debris making their way down the current as well. And I've been speaking to residents all afternoon about how they're protecting their homes and their property from this flooding.
That's life living on the farm.
Alan Montgomery grew up on this farm. In addition to goats, cattle, paintball gunfights, and corn mazes, he says flooding is just a part of life, living along the banks of the Malheur River. But he's only seen conditions get this serious about once a decade.
This is one of the higher floods, and we're prepared most of the time for the smaller ones. The bigger ones, you think you have everything, and then you realize, oh, wait a minute, we forgot about this or that or whatever.
From broken fences to submerged pastures, Montgomery says preparation only goes so far.
I've had to rebuild fences many times because the water just lays them over.
And Montgomery isn't the only one experiencing flooding. Now we're seeing this sort of flooding all throughout Malheur County. We're standing here on the intersection of Malheur Drive and 36th Street. And I was speaking with a couple on the corner who tell me that this is some of the worst flooding that they have seen in the decade since they've lived here. And they were telling me that this field right across the street here that they own gets completely flooded, and that water comes all the way through, all the way to where these sheep are in this field. We've been tracking this situation in Malheur County throughout the day Tuesday. We were there along Highway 20 in Vail when floodwaters prompted a road closure, leaving semi-trucks stranded flooded and homeowners scrambling to protect their property. Take a look at this drone footage we captured just outside of Vail. Floodwaters surrounding homes. These residents turning to bales of hay in an effort to keep the water out.
Thank heavens this year they emptied some of the reservoirs early, and so right now the reservoirs are not dumping anything. They're collecting everything that's coming down.
But Montgomery has seen worse. He remembers one year when ice the size of cars stacked up across his childhood lawn.
It took almost till June for all that ice to melt. It was so big.
And I just want to reiterate how quickly this is changing. Just since I've been standing here, this water continues to come in. We continue to have to make our way away from this roadway. My feet are completely submerged in water. And I just want to hand it over to Scott, our chief meteorologist, with more information on what exactly is happening and what we can expect throughout the rest of the evening. Scott, what are we looking at in terms of this changing situation throughout the night?
Yeah, Riley, I've been watching the gauge, and it is just slowly rising, about 6 inches of rise there in the last, say, hour or so. And that 6 inches of a vertical rise can go a long way, and you're noticing that as you're there. And so the river's still rising, and we can see what's going to happen in Ontario by looking at what's been happening in Vail. There's been a crest, but it's kind of plateauing. It's coming down ever so slowly, if at all, and that means the same thing will occur in Ontario. We're likely to see a crest in the next several hours, maybe later this evening, and it's going to hang there for a while. And so this flooding here is going to last for at least a little while. Let's take a look at the gauges here. As we look at the map here, notice this purple right here. That's the Vail gauge showing that the Malheur River is in flood stage, is in major flood stage here. As we see it here, Riley, is in Ontario right now. The water, that crest is flowing to the east there, and it's going to be a while before that comes down. Here we are back to Vail, and with major flooding throughout the night here, and then it will start to come down slowly over the next 18 hours or so. And then we'll see that change come in. I'll keep you updated on that. In the meantime, sunshine in Boise. We've had a gusty wind. It's been chilly, but warmer temperatures are on the way.